Does anyone else get a little frustrated whenever their barber seems like they're distracted with whatever, whether that be their phone or if they have like a TV on in the background or if they're just conversing with someone who isn't the client sitting in the chair in front of them, dude? It gets a little annoying. That's what I experienced today when I went to the barber shop. I decided to go very early in the morning to try to be the first one in the seat, but it didn't work out too well. Everyone else had the same idea as well, and as I got there, everyone else was already in the seat. It was already filled up, which was fine. I wasn't in any rush, so it was fine. I didn't really mind too much, but I went with my parents. My parents were there as well, so we just decided to wait it out. It was fine. We weren't in any rush, and it was about 25 minutes before one of us got seated by a barber, that one being me, because a new barber had came in pretty late, I suppose, and that opened up a whole new seat, so I went to him. So it was finally my turn to get seated and get my hair cut. But before I sat down, I was noticing that all the barbers, not all of them, but some of the barbers kept glancing down on their phones. Well, I guess if they got a text message or a notification on any form of social media, whatever they had, dude, they kept glancing down at their phone and spending a little bit responding to whatever message or whatever they received, dude. And I was looking at that and I was just hoping that if I got one of those guys that they wouldn't do that, dude. But that was before my barber had came in and decided to seat me up and get me ready. So I went to him, I sat down, I told him what I wanted, which was this haircut right here. And we got started. It was like 5 minutes in before I even had a problem with them. 5 minutes in, and then I saw him do the dreaded thing, dude. He took out his phone, and I heard the notification go off. I heard it go off. He took a look at it, and he was glancing down on it for like a couple minutes, dude. And I'm not the type of guy to really be super confrontational or whatever. But I just sat there and waited and pleaded internally with this guy to hurry up with the text or whatever he was doing, and get back to cutting my hair, because it got a little bit rough because he did this numerous times throughout the haircut. And about like 15 minutes into the haircut, he said he had to do something really quick. And by this time, my mom had got seated up by another barbershop that was across the shop. And as my barber went to the back to go do whatever he was doing, my mom's barber did the same thing at the exact same time. He said he'll be right back, and they both went to the back together. And it was like a solid like 7-8 minutes before they decided to come back and finish cutting their hair. I have no clue what they were doing back there, dude, but I find it incredibly suspicious, incredibly fiendish that they both went back there at the exact same time and they both returned at the exact same time. Who knows? Maybe they had to take care of something that needed two sets of hands. I don't know, dude. You never know, but I just found it a little suspicious that they both went back there at the same time and both returned at the exact same time. So after that, he continued cutting my hair. He came back, he continued. Everything was going good, but then he got another notification, dude. And while all this was going down, they have a TV going on in the background. And this TV, there was a show being shown. I don't remember the name of it, but it was not a show that I would say was appropriate to be shown in a barbershop like that. It's like it was a pretty graphic show. I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of like, it was like a crime drama thriller type of show. I'm not too sure what the name of it was, but I do know that show was not let's just say a family friendly show to be shown in there. It was a pretty graphic show. I saw dudes getting their throats slit. I saw numerous sex scenes. The language was pretty foul, dude. Now I will say this, I have no problems with barbershops having a TV on in the background, dude, as long as it's not distracting them from cutting their client's hair. And that was what was happening in that shop. that the show, I mean, they must really like that show because they kept commenting, pausing and commenting on what was happening in that show numerous times. I don't even remember what the name of that show was, dude. It did seem pretty interesting, I will say that. However, I will say it's not a type of show that was appropriate for a barbershop. It did seem interesting, but it wasn't a good show to be shown in that type of environment because my parents were there, dude. My parents were there. There weren't any kids in there. At least I didn't see any. I'm pretty sure there weren't any. But what if there were some kids in there, dude? And there's just constant scenes, sexual scenes, and the language, the foul language being heard in a barbershop, dude. It's not a club, it's a barbershop. But I have no problems with a TV in there as long as the content that's being shown on TV is, let's just say, appropriate for a business like that, dude. Man, like maybe like a sports center or something, or like I don't know, like a family friendly show or movie. And as long as the barbers themselves aren't distracted by the TV show or movie or whatever they have going on in the background. And they kept commenting on it just constantly, dude. Like my mom's barber and the barber that was next to him, just nonstop, just chatting away. And they weren't chatting and cutting their hair. They stopped cutting their hair to discuss the machinations taking place within the show, dude. It was ungodly. It was it was incredible to witness. And all the while constantly taking out their phone to respond to any form of text message they received or whatever notifications they were getting, dude. Now that is where I draw the line. That is where I say you should not do that at all if you're a barber. That I just find me personally, I find that to be very rude. Whether you're a barber, a hairstylist, like a makeup artist, whatever, dude, whatever you are. If you just take out your phone while you have a client sitting in your chair waiting for their hair to be cut, and you're just texting, you pause what you're doing because this text message is more important than the client that is paying you to cut their hair. I just find that personally to be very rude and very unprofessional, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't like personally say, hey, can you please stop checking your phone and can you just cut my hair? Because that's just not the type of guy I am, dude. I'm just not a confrontational person. So you could say, Isaac, well, I mean, it's your fault for not drawing the line and telling him, can you please cut your hair? And I mean, yeah, you live and learn, dude. Looking back on it now, I should have said something because that time they spent commenting on the show that was being shown and looking at their text messages on their phone, dude, or whatever they were looking at, could have been spent cutting our hair so we can get out of there faster, thus allowing them to get more butts in the seat, thus generating more revenue for them, dude, so they can get people out faster, have more people seated down instead of taking their sweet, glorious time responding to the show and constantly checking their phones, dude. It just got very annoying, to be honest. And this type of haircut doesn't take long to do at all, dude. It truly doesn't. Now, I'm not saying I wanted them to rush through it and go as fast as they possibly can, but I'm just saying that the time they spent checking their phone and whatever could have been spent cutting my hair, dude. It could have been spent doing that. Now, I will say I still am very impressed with how my haircut came out. I personally think I'm looking pretty dapper, if I do say so myself, dude. I really like this haircut. I will say that. He still did a bang-up job. But the time I spent in there, we went in there like at 9 and left at 11:30, dude. And there was just three of us. And this type of haircut doesn't take long. And the haircut my mom got doesn't take long. And the one my dad got doesn't take long at all. And we got out of there at like 11:30, dude. And we got in there at 9. And there were only 3 people in there when we got in. There were only 3 other people in there when we got in, dude. Plus a 4th barber showed up while we were waiting for the 3 original barbers. Dude, it was oh God, it was just a little annoying. We got in and out of there. We were all satisfied with our haircuts, but I'm just saying, I just find that to be pretty rude and a little unprofessional when I see barbers do that, dude. And it doesn't have to be just barbers, like hairstylists, or like what if a masseuse was doing that, and while they're massaging your back, dude, they just take a second to respond to a text message. Would you like that? Would you like that? Would you mind if someone just took out their phone? What if I just took out my phone right now and responded to it? What is that professional, dude? I just find that to be pretty rude, but it's whatever, dude. That's God, oh my God, it's just really, really, really annoying, but whatever. That's gonna be it for me today. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this type of behavior that sometimes takes place in barbershops. I'm not saying every barber does this. I'm not saying every barbershop or hairstylist does this. I'm just saying the one I went to has personally done this numerous times. This isn't an experience that happens all the time with me. I'm just saying that this particular experience was just a little bit rough. However, I will say I still am satisfied. I'm not bashing on their work at all. They still did a bang-up job, truly. This looks very good, I will say that. But if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and tell me what you think about these types of actions that sometimes take place. And if you have experienced something like this before during your adventures in getting your hair cut or getting your hair styled or whatever. But that's going to be it for me today. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.